There's I love this word. It says, I have wasted all my time, O unconquerable one. Unconquerable. That's a special word. Becoming more and more intoxicated by my domain and opulence as an earthly king. This is pretty amazing. Wow. Thank you so much. It's okay. I think it's the fruit, maybe the... It's a lower system. Oh, no problem. It sounds better today. I have wasted, translation, I have wasted all this time. O unconquerable one. I love that name for the Supreme Lord. Unconquerable one. Becoming more and more intoxicated by my domain and opulence as an earthly king. Misidentifying a mortal body as the self. Becoming attached to children, wives, treasury, and land. I suffered endless anxiety. Report by His Divine Grace. This is a very small purport. Having in the previous verse condemned those who minus the valuable human form of life for mundane purposes. Ukukunda now admits that he himself falls into this category. He intelligently wants to take advantage of the Lord's association and become a pure devotee once and for all. So Prabhupada didn't say anything about he wants to give up looking after his children, wives, the land. He says he intelligently wants to take advantage of the Lord's association and become a pure devotee once and for all. That's really nice, actually, because that's all Prahlad talks about. You don't have to give up your dress. You don't have to change your place. You don't have to, move from one house to another to be closer to the temple. No. You just have to admit intelligently and take advantage of the Lord's association. So it's beautiful. So when I was in my younger days and traveling, even now, I see this amongst devotees and Nrsimhadev devotees. I would see that they were very busy in their life. They would have businesses, right? In India, like yesterday I went to this nice devotee's house. His name was
Lal.
Yeah, Lal. Big businessman, nice house. He did everything right. In his backyard he has the nice mandir, temples there. Krishna photos in his house. He worked very hard from nothing. But now he's old. And now he wants to do more spiritual stuff. But he won't stop working. We were talking about this. Even my own father, who's 83, 84 this year, he's not stopped working. He's still working. Because Prabhupada even said, retirement means death. Should never stop. Stay healthy. But we should intelligently take advantage of Krishna's association, either by reading, hearing, remembering, coming to see him, offering our food to him. So many amazing ways, right? Sometimes we're walking, and we start all of a sudden chanting, spontaneous. These types of things are very beautiful. So I would meet so many wonderful people, not just Indians, people from all over the world when I travel, and they really have a connection with the Lord. Narasimha, Gornita, Jagannath, Radhesham, Radhamadhava, but still, Narasimha, Krishna is the same. And it always inspired me because I would see, my God, they're so busy in their work, but they find the time to connect in the Lord's association and try to become every day little more drops pure, closer to becoming a Vaishnava, those 26 qualities. rich, poor, rickshaw drivers, whatever. When I was young, when I tell the stories tonight, I'll tell more in depth. But yeah, these rickshaw drivers, they don't make much money. Or the bus drivers, taxi drivers. But anytime they helped me find Narsimha, they would try, if they were not busy in their, packed bus or taxi, they would come into the temple to have darshan. They would just take that few moments. Hey Bhagawan, thank you. Jai Narsimha. And I always noticed this, and even the shopwallas, when I would go to see if they spoke English and ask them, is any Narsimha temples anywhere? They're in the middle of opening their shop. I don't think there was, not one of them refused to help me. They're just, in the morning is an important time. We open the shop, they do their little puja. They would stop in the middle of opening to walk me, to show me where the temple is, to come with me, to put me on the bus. They would pay for the bus, pay for the rickshaw. And just to connect with the Lord's energy, right? Or to be able to be like, Narsimha is there on the mountain, so I always remember that, and that's what gave me a lot of inspiration to keep finding his temples and finding his people, because I knew that, especially with the energy of Narsimha, these types of devotees want to connect with that energy, even if it's with someone else or helping them, So, O Unconquerable One. It's such an awesome name. He is unconquerable, but if you take advantage of the Lord's association and you become pure, you can capture him easily. Like, look what Prahlad did. Can you imagine? The Lord came in this awesome form of half man, half lion. All the demigods were praying, how is this possible? I've never seen a form like this. You are so perfect. You are so beautiful. You are so mesmerizing. They were awestruck that the Lord did this for his devotee. And before he appeared, the demigods were very scared, because Hiranyakashipu still to this day was the most powerful of all adversaries. Or they like to say, use this word, demons. He was the most powerful. So the demigods were so scared. Oh Lord Vishnu, how is it possible for you to defeat him? Are you sure? They were doubting. But are you totally sure? And Lord Vishnu was just sitting there, being his feet massaged by Lakshmi, relaxing. Don't worry, my devotees. But how do you know? Like, what will you do? He has so many boons. He cannot be killed in the day or the night. He cannot be killed up or down. He cannot be killed by floating, right? He cannot be killed by any man-made weapon, right? He cannot be killed by animal, bird, beast, human. What are you going to do? And they were freaking. So then, can you please give us some sort of just give us a sample of what you're going to do. Now the Lord could not show this form to these devotees, the demigods, but he could give them a small sample. So when he was sitting on his beautiful asana with Anantasesh, he showed them his fingers. There's a mudra, he goes like this. I will kill him with these, my nails. Thank you so much. He said, I will kill him with my nails. And the devotees were amazed. They were like, but how? Don't worry. Everything will be perfect. Even Lord Brahma, hello, Lord Indra, Lord Shiva, they were looking. There's a deity, I'll show you when we have the slideshows. huge deity, like 3 meters tall. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhava. And big deity inside of a cave, like 40, 50 meters inside of a mountain. This gigantic deity of Narasimha, and he's showing his fingers like this. And the Brahma and Shiva and the demigods, they're all looking, like trying to see the fingers. It's one of my favorite deities, like a Shanti Yoga Narasimha deity. And so the demigods, rest assured, as soon as they got some sort of sign. So with this type of mood, we should never have fear or be afraid that we are in this attachment to our children, or wife. Nobody has wives anymore. This is for the kings, you know. Or our wealth and land, because it's all temporary for us. It all belongs to Him. So, and that's how we associate with Him. By remembering, by waking up, like I said yesterday, my Lord, thank you for this nice home that you have provided, but you've allowed me to work for it. Or your husband, like her husband's gone so long, working so hard, you know. But this is because Krishna gave him the ability. And then Narasimha has to protect him. Right? Thank you for this opportunity to allow me and my husband to work. And because you can come to the temple every day. So it's a blessing. And by you coming to the temple, you're sharing the sukriti, the spiritual building of your bank account, you're sharing this with the husband. He's getting the good vibrations. Thank you, my Lord. If you have good morning. If you have a nice, healthy body, thank you. You don't have some problems, cancer, imagine disease. If we're healthy, thank you, my Lord. What a blessing. If we're beautiful, thank you, my Lord. This body belongs to you. You're in it. And if we have intelligence, which many people don't have intelligence these days, thank you for this. My ability to think before I do things and say things. And this brings us, this is taking advantage of the Lord's association. Very simple. Okay, chanting is nice, the rounds, but sometimes, I've said many times, we're distracted. But, Shravanam, Vishnu, all of these, you can bring flour for him. Like I said, you can be walking and chanting, oh, Hare Krishna, it just happens. You can buy some groceries, mangoes or whatever. You can think of him during the day. You can speak about him. Worship him in the home. It's very important in the home to have some small deities or big deities, whatever you like. All these things are very special. This is associating with the Lord and taking advantage of associating with Him. Right? So especially if we have the freedom to do it. I always say, ladies are sometimes more lucky because the man has to work. This is the nature. This is the relationship. The man has to work hard. The woman can be so blessed. She can take advantage of coming to the temple and having a beautiful relationship with the Lord. Cooking for the Lord is one of my favorites. Okay. Right? You want me to turn this off? Yeah, so cooking for the Lord is, because sometimes the ladies love cooking for the kids or your friends or your family or the husband. And if you know you're going to make everybody happy, it makes you happy. So this happiness, cooking for your family, but you're cooking for the Lord, this is even on another level. This is associating, like with the Lord, like cooking your favorite dishes. My Lord will be so happy. Right? So, this is also taking advantage of His association. So when I traveled, I would also see this, that they would take advantage of His association. Every morning when they wake, they go to the mandir, where they do puja at home. For like 1 minute, 2 minutes, you offer the lamp, maybe some flowers are there, something, some boga, and then you go to work. And then at work, they have their little temple in their shop. You've been to India, you see. They do their little puja in the shop. He's there with them. They're taking advantage of His association. And then in the evening, they say, as they're closing the shop, thank you for another amazing day, my Lord. All this money I made belongs to you. May I always keep it pure in my looking after my family. And then they go home and puja. Then they go to bed. It's actually a beautiful life. It's not the quantity, right? It's the quality of your association with the Lord. And Prahlad Maharaj talks about this. Right? He says you don't have to give up anything you're doing. He's talking to his friends. Come on, guys. You don't have to. You can still play if you want. You can enjoy your life being a prince, princess. But don't remember, all this freedom and this happiness and this power, fame and fortune comes from Narayan, the Lord, the Supreme Lord. Don't forget to say thank you and acknowledge this with Him. So I love that about our Krishna consciousness movement. And then I want to see a purport say, the next one's there's no purport. With deep arrogance, I took myself to be the body, which is a material object like a pot or a wall. This is crazy, right? This body is no better than a pot or a wall. Thinking myself a god among men, I traveled the earth surrounded by my charioteers, elephants, cavalry, foot soldiers, and generals, disregarding you in my deluding pride. Right? So he was doing all this, conquering the world, but he totally disregarded the Lord. He forgot to mention the Lord. A man obsessed with thoughts of what he thinks needs to be done, intensely greedy, and delighting in sense enjoyment, is suddenly confronted by you, who are ever alert. Like a hungry snake licking its fangs before a mouse, you appear before him as death. Crazy, right? Hiranyakashipu never feared death because he was not immortal, but almost. And as soon as Nrsimhadev appeared from the pillar, he looked at him and he was like, oh my God. Now they say, OMG. Wow, look at you. He was praising Vishnu. He said, look at what you have done. You have done this for me? You are awesome. You are amazing. He was praising the Lord. And he fought with the Lord, but at one instance, Hiranyakashipu never had fear. But when Nrsimha finally grabbed him, he appeared as death. Then Hiranyakashipu understood, now I will die. You are mrityum namam, the killer of death. Srila Prabhupada says in his purport, we may note here the contrast between the words Paramatmam and Aparamatmaha. Those who are trying to exploit the material world are Paramatma, deluded, bewildered, maddened by desire. But the Lord is Aparamatma, alert, sober, and unbewildered. In our madness, we may deny God or His laws, but the Lord is sober and will not fail to reward or punish us according to the quality of our activities. So even Ajamil, remember? He forgot, he was a Brahmin, he was such a pious, and then he hooked up with a prostitute girl, went on the street where they are, and she captured him. And he forgot, but he named his son Narayan.
His son.
Oh, Narayan. He was completely bewildered, maddened, deluded by desire, right? But in the end, the essence of all his years of tapasya and love came out. Luckily, but he wasn't calling Narayan to call Narayan. He was calling his son. But the Lord is not different from his name. Even if you name your kid, So, he got lucky. He was supposed to be dragged before Yama and destroyed. The Yamadutas came to tear him, but the Vishnudutas came and said, hey. They started to beat the Yamadutas, kick them, spit on them, abuse them. And the Yamadutas were shocked. How dare we are the ones who get to control the narrative. We get to decide. We've been told by Yama to come take the soul. Who are you crazy people? Then they went back to Yamaraj, and they said, they beat us, they kicked us, they were calling us names, like they were crying. Who are these people? Very shiny, very bright. And Yama is considered the most knowledgeable of all the Devatas. And he immediately understood, oh, you made a big mistake. These were Hari's devotees. Yeah. You cannot touch his... Once they come, you must surrender and offer respects to them and then leave. So they said, but you didn't tell us. He said, this was the first time this happened. And so even though he was completely maddened by desire, at the end he said, and I hear many stories, right? Just the other day my friend here was telling me his father hated him for becoming a devotee. I think often in these village communities, the son is the pride of the father, not so much the daughters, because they leave the home. But the son will work, bring some income from farming or something. So he told me his father, he joined, and his father was so, shattered his heart. But his father died in his arms, in front of the TV, and he turned on Prabhupada chanting, and it was all photos, paintings of Krishna Leela, and his father was staring at them, and he took his last breaths in his arms while listening to Prabhupada. Unbelievable. Now we cannot say where he went. So many devotees are very immature. Oh, he went back home to God. Should never speak like this. Prabhupada said we should never speak like this. We don't know. But that type of death, that's how I want to die. In front of, And I used to always pray when I was young in my travels, before marriage, all this responsibility. Take me now, take me now. Prahlad prayed this. Take me before I become attached to the sound of my child, my baby. Before all of the demands from my house and my wife, before she's sucking my energy like a tiger at night, or a witch, and my mind is less filled with you and more filled with my responsibilities. Take me now. So I used to pray like this. Unfortunately, I'm still here. But this is important for us to constantly think. At any moment we could die. So try to associate with the Lord. Take advantage of the Lord's association and become a pure devotee. That's why I said, think of Him, bring something, offer. We're still going to be busy. We have to eat, we have to sleep, we have to defend. Some of us have to mate, some of us don't. But we still have to do all this stuff. But we can definitely bring Him in a little more, bring them in a little more. Even just a thought. Lord Shiva says, Yanama smaranad bita bhuta bita rakshashaha. Anyone who just thinks of your name, Narasimha, just thinks, all diseases will be eliminated. Like you destroyed Hiranyakashipu, you will destroy their diseases. Their mind, doubt, their fear will be removed. Sometimes the mind has doubts, fears, negativity. Any ghosts, yakshas, pishilas, rakshasas will run for their lives, and no planets can influence you. Just if someone thinks of you, your name, thinks of your name. This is crazy, amazing. So we're quite lucky. We've been handed this for nothing. We've done nothing, but we've been handed this amazing philosophy and an amazing opportunity. All we have to do is think of His name. So Lord Shiva says this. It's true. That's why I tell devotees, if you're chanting Aparadnam, you're wasting your time. Try one good mantra like Srila Prabhupada said, one round. Or really think of Him throughout the day. Hare Krishna, my Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. I love you. Thank you for this another day. Try to really connect. Even though emotions are not really real, sentiment is not, but it can help us to try to create more of a personal connection. We want personal. The Lord in my heart, please always help remind me of you. So, and try not to let become too deluded and too bewildered and maddened by desires. So, what time is it now?
It's 8.
Oh, okay, cool. We have to go. So, thank you so much for letting me read Srila Prabhupada's purport and beautiful Bhagavatam. I'm so excited about tonight for the slideshow. So, Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.